Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I am coming at you guys from the future because while I've been editing this video, I realized that the first couple clips that I filmed for this vlog have mysteriously disappeared and I cannot find them anywhere on my laptop or my desktop or in my SD card. So I guess that's just what's happening, but the first parts are not too important anyway. I was just working with fluffy yarn, and the next clip is going to be me finishing up working with fluffy yarn and showing you guys what I ended up making. I wanted to design a new pattern. I ended up just sticking to my old pattern. So that's kind of the context for that, but apologies. Everything else flows as it should be. I hope you guys enjoy watching. I have some updates on the fluffy yarn. This is what I've gotten so far for the bunny. I made a different version, frogged it, and then tried to do this. I haven't finished it off yet because I don't think I'm happy with how it looks. I think maybe I have to make the body and everything else first, but it's giving more like pig vibes. I don't know, it's just something is off. But instead, I decided to just go back to my roots, make a teddy bear since I haven't worked with fluffy yarn in probably like almost a year. So I ended up making this fluffy teddy. I need to like puff her out a little bit more, fix up the fluff, but this is what it's giving. He's very cute. I love this pattern. I love the teddy bear, fluffy teddy vibe. I think it's so cute. But then I decided I want to try and make an otter. It's very similar to the bear pattern, except the snout is meant to be like triangle, but I don't know if it's giving, like it was looking way more triangle, I guess maybe before I like sewed it on. I don't know, like put everything together. My parents think it doesn't look like an otter. Like, you know what? It's an otter variant, okay? It's hard to make it completely accurate, and there is no tail yet, so it's still giving teddy, but it's slightly different. And I think he's really cute anyway, regardless. But yeah, so I think I'm done with the fluffy yarn for now because it does really hurt my hands. Like, it is really painful to work with and just difficult in general. But I do want to try and make some different patterns for the fluffy yarn because I think I need to branch out. I can make a couple more things. It is just really difficult because it's challenging, but I think I will try just at a later day. I don't have much time. I think I'm going to Perth on Wednesday. It's currently Monday, and I'm going to be meeting one of my friends, my childhood best friend from when I lived in the Philippines, and she is over in Australia for 2 months doing a medical residency. She's studying medicine, but in the UK. So I haven't seen her since I was 16. So now it's been so long since I've seen her. So I'm really excited. And I'm going to crochet her some things. I asked her if she wanted anything, and she wanted some bag charms. She wanted a sun, moon, and star bag charm, and she wanted to pay for it. I'm not going to let her pay, obviously. So I'm also going to give her one of my crochet kits. I think she wanted Bella the bunny or another one, so I'll pick one of them out for her. I'm also going to get a crochet kit for my grandma. She knows how to knit, and she's stopped knitting now. I don't think she's going to learn how to crochet, but it is one of my products, and I think that she would find it really cool to have. And, you know, it's something that I made with my own brand, so there's that. And then also I'm going to gift one of the crochet kits to my auntie as well. So we're going to be packing a lot of crochet kits to go to Perth. So my bag will be full of that. But in the meantime, I'm going to make these bag charms, and then I'm going to try and continue on with my seafood boil. Those are like the two high priorities right now. Try and finish those off. And then when I go on holiday, that will be a different thing. And then I'm coming back and starting work. So we're going to have to recalibrate, but we will try and do as much as I can today and tomorrow. Sun is done. This is what it looks like. I'm really happy with it. It looks just like the reference photo that she sent me. I just freehanded it based on the photo. I just need to add a smile and some blush, and then obviously all the bag charm details and everything like that. I did try and I flopped with this one. It was a little bit too small. The proportions were off, so I figured it out and I'm very happy with it. Very, very simple design as well. And then I'm going to try, I think, make the star next, and then the moon. I think the star might be the most difficult one to freehand, but I still think it will be pretty simple. And then we've got the moon, which will be simple as well. So I'm very lucky that she has requested some very simple things, but super cute. So maybe I'll even make some more of these because I think these are really adorable bag charms. But I will come back to you. I think we'll try and get some videos of me crocheting the star because I think that one will be the most interesting. So I'm just going to get straight into it. The star is done apart from the same details I need to add to the sun, but I feel like for a first attempt and like a free-handed attempt, it's not too bad. It's looking quite cute actually. It kind of reminds me of like the Mario star. It's kind of like chubby. Hopefully she likes it. I think he's adorable, but yes, the star is finally finished. All I have to do left is the moon. I need to pick out a blue that I think she would like and make the moon in blue. I'm kind of deciding between these two blues because she sent me a few different reference photos and there is a dark blue and then also some light blue. I feel like the light blue might just go a little bit better because it's like a light, fun, bright vibe. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use the light blue. Hopefully she will like that. But I'm going to get straight into it. Another free-handed one. This one should be fairly easy though. So we will just get on it. I did struggle a little bit with the moon actually, but this is it in the end. I think he turned out pretty good. I was struggling a little bit with the size as well. I didn't want to make it too big because I feel like maybe some of these bag charms, like I don't know how big or small she wants them. All of her reference photos she sent me were with cotton or acrylic yarn and not with chenille, but I like it with chenille and I'm sure she probably expects me to make it in chenille as well because that's basically all I work with, strictly for amigurumi anyways. But I feel like we've got a cute little trio going and I need to pick out the finding colors. So I think for the blue, we will do silver findings and then obviously gold for the sun and the star. But I need to figure out what lobster clasp color and style that I want to go for because I don't have orange lobster clasps for the sun, but I do have yellow. I think I'm going to do yellow for the sun, blue or silver for the moon, and then gold for the star, just so it's not like repeating, so that they're a little bit different. I want to make them all a little bit different. Again, hopefully she likes it. I have not consulted with her, but I'm just trying to make it how I would like it and how I think she would like it to give it a little personal touch. Okay, never mind. So it turns out I do not have any yellow lobster clasps left. I've used them all up. Rip. But I think what I'm going to do instead then is I'm going to use gold for the star because it's a star shape. I'll show you guys. This star one, I've used it many times before, just gold star for the star. That makes perfect sense. And then what I think I'm going to do is, well, I guess this is also a star, but a rose gold star for the sun because it's got like the orange and yellow. So rose gold is, you know, pretty decent. And then for the moon, we can either go silver if I want to keep it with metals, or I can do a blue or a white. But I feel like the metals make more sense so that it's more cohesive. So maybe I'll go ahead and just do all metal and do like the different tones of the metal. And hopefully it looks cute in the end. I think that that's a pretty good the best option that I have, at least, considering there's no yellow lobster clasps. I might sift around and see if I do have one like laying around, but I don't think I do. If I do, I'll come back and update. But then I also have all my charms in the back and I'm going to pick out the appropriate charms for all of the different little characters that we have. I did end up finishing the bag charms yesterday, but I forgot to show you guys. So what I made was the sun with the dangly bits. This is what it looks like all done with the rose gold clasp. I think it's so cute. And then we have the star with yellow charms, the yellow gold clasp, and the chunky star. And then lastly, we have the moon with blue, of course, charms, and then the silver clasp and hardware, and this is how he looks. Added all the cheeks and the smiles so they look perfect. I think they are so cute. I hope she likes them. They are a little bit bigger than the photos, but I have let her know and hopefully it's all good. But what I also did finally, if you guys have been keeping up with my vlogs, I finally added the face to Usahana, so now she is finished. I don't know if I'm like, I think the face is cool actually. When I first glued it on, I was like, oh, it looks wrong. But honestly, I think it's pretty good. I think I could add maybe like a bit of white to add like depth to the eyes. But for just the felt, I think it's good, and I've been putting this off for so long, like literally months. So now that the face is finally assembled, I'm very, very happy with how she looks, and this pattern is officially ready to be tested. So that's really exciting. I just need to put it all together, and then we can have a little Usahana pattern. Except copyright does come for characters when you make a character pattern, so I need to like change the name. So I think this is gonna be like Rainbow Patchwork Bunny. Except I think Usahana might be a dog. I don't know. I need to Google that. Bunny or puppy, whatever. But it'll be like some rainbow patchwork thing just to make sure I don't get done for. But that is finally done. And then lastly, we have progress on the seafood boil as well. So I have done a little bit off camera yesterday and today. But look at these crab clusters. These are snow crab legs. I'm really proud of this. This actually took a really long time to design the pattern. Now that the pattern is designed, it's pretty easy to follow, or easy for me to follow because I know what I did, but there is like quite a bit of explaining, so I'm gonna have to make sure I write the pattern in a specific way. This is definitely an intermediate pattern for sure when it is ready, but the actual making of the pattern took me so long just because I'm such a perfectionist and I want to make sure that it's like life size and that everything looks right and try to make it as accurate as possible. It is reinforced with wire. As you can see, they all stand up and they all curve and bend, and you can like change how it bends. And there's like the little claw up here, and then we've got all the different lengths of the legs and this tiny little baby leg at the end because the last leg is always really small. And then we have the de-shelled, like, I don't know what you call this, like the chest or the side, the meat, whatever, but like where the shell gets removed, it's always just like the white color. So I think these actually look quite good. I'm really happy with them, especially for the yarn that I'm using. It's hard to make it as detailed as I would have wanted, but I'm a chunky yarn girl, so what can I say? And then I couldn't do as many like white accents without it looking like super obvious and just wrong. So I think I'm really happy with what I did. I worked with what I had and honestly very happy with the result. And then now I can chuck them into my seafood boil with the rest of my seafood. These two clusters really fill out the bowl. So what I have left to make is I'm going to make one more ingredient. I'm going to do a garnish, so like lemons, because I think lemon is like a nice, it's like a garnish type of thing. And then what I'm going to do is crochet a bowl. I was thinking of doing the bag, but I think I'm going to make a bowl or a pot just because that's like it'll look the best with crochet because it comes in a clear plastic bag, and I could do like a netted bag with white yarn, but I think that the pot will look better. It's going to be much harder to make the pot than it will be to make the bag, but you guys know I like a challenge. So we're going to try and make the pot once the lemons are done, and then all my seafood boil components can sit in the pot, and it'll be such a fun little like interactive display piece. I'm really happy with how this seafood boil has turned out. I think it's so much fun. I really, really love it. And the clusters did not disappoint in the end, so it was well worth the hassle. So I'm going to try and do the lemon tomorrow. And then I think I'm going to try, I don't know if I have any time to crochet tomorrow. Maybe I will. I'm going to try and clean my crochet room tomorrow though. So I think I'm going to take you guys along for that because this is a mess. So I know some of you guys find it really satisfying to watch people clean their rooms. I know I like to watch them, so I'm going to film that for you tomorrow. Hopefully I do get it done, but that will be tomorrow's problem. This is my last day home for the week. I'm flying out to Perth, and I get back on Sunday night and start my new full-time job on Monday, so it's going to be pretty chaotic. I'm going to see if I'm able to like film a little bit on Sunday. I probably will be exhausted and preparing for the next week, but I'll try and get some work done, update you guys a little bit on how work is going as well if any of you guys are interested in that, but I'll try and make sure I make a lot of time, or I guess not a lot of time because my time is dwindling. I'll make sure I do have at least a couple hours a day to dedicate to crochet, and hopefully once I get a bit more comfortable in my role, I can work from home, yada yada, have a little bit more time and not worry about the commute and such. But I have finished my seafood boil, the ingredients portion. I've made this lemon wedge. I made two. Very unimpressive, kind of scraggly and ugly, but you know what? It's the best I can do with the time I have before I fly out tonight. But you know what? The seafood boil is now finished. I just have to make the pot, which is going to be a whole big procedure. This is what I have so far for the seafood boil. So we've got the 2 giant crab legs and then everything else sat inside with the lemons and whatnot. So that's very exciting. I'll give you guys a bit of a breakdown once the pot is done. I'm really, really excited for that. And I also have all these jumbo plushies now that I made, or they're not jumbo plushies, but plushies made in jumbo yarn that I made for my 1 hour challenge. So I'm going to keep them aside and then save them up for my next market. I have all these jumbo plushies now, so hopefully they fit in my storage bin. They definitely will. And then that is it for crocheting. I don't think I'll have time to crochet anything else this week, but I do really need to clean my crochet room. I'll give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of what it looks like right now. It's a disaster. This is what it's looking like. Really and truly a bomb. It's even worse back here. Look at this, guys. Like, oh, everything is just broken loose, but we're going to try and fix this up before I leave and go on my holiday to see my family and friends. And my boyfriend is coming over as well this afternoon, so I want to make sure that I've gotten all this filming out of the way and to not interrupt time with him. And I also was going to try and take some photos for a product. We'll see if I have time for that. I always leave everything to the last minute. I'm like a chronic procrastinator, but I do have some skeins of yarn I need to wind up, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. I think these are all the skeins I need to wind. It's all I could find in the disaster, so not as much as I thought, but we're going to go ahead and wind these bad boys up. Skeins have all been wound. It took a little bit of untangling, very frustrating when that happens, but not too bad, didn't take very long. And then now I'm going to add them to my yarn trolley, try and get that sorted out. My yarn trolley used to be overflowing with all of my used skeins of yarn, but now it's looking a lot more sparse because I'm making an effort to try and use yarn that I've already opened and try not to disturb the wall too much. So it's definitely been working, and now we need to fill up the trolley a little bit more. So glad to be adding these guys. All right, now that the yarn is tucked away, I'm going to collect all of the plushies and put them away. Here are all the plushies that are my pattern, so they're either going to go on the wall if I can fit them or into my design bin where the rest of the ones that can't fit up here go. I've put them all away. Now it's time to pick up the rest of the plushies and put them into the bigger bin. Here they are. Now they're going into the bigger bin. These 2 fluffy ones are also my pattern, but I'll just put them into the bigger bin as well anyways. Found a few more loose plushies. They're also going to go into the pattern bin. I am back from my little holiday from Perth, and I've just finished my first week of work. So now I'm working full time. I admittedly did have time to film some stuff in between. I did get some stuff done. I just didn't film. I just wanted to take a moment to collect myself, but now I'm ready to get back into things. Work is honestly fine. It was a very chill first week. I haven't gotten into the actual projects that I'm going to be on yet. That might take a while. So, I'm just slowly easing into it, which is nice. And also, we've got work from home and in the office. So very ideal for me, which is nice. I've worked from home today, and then now I can just immediately log off and film. I have been getting some stuff done though, so what I have done is I applied for a pattern test for my friend Crochet by Sammy. She has made this little ghost. I think it's like a 6-in-1. There's many different variations of these adorable little ghosts, and I got the pumpkin ghost to test, and I love it. I think it's so cute, so perfect. and I definitely recommend this pattern when it comes out. I'm going to try and make a few more of them for Halloween though. I don't really have a market coming up. Maybe I'll do some Etsy drops. We'll see, but I do love Halloween and I want to get more into the Halloween spirit. In Australia, it's not really celebrated that much, so I'm going to have to take matters into my own hands and get myself into the Halloween spirit. It's also starting to get warmer here too, which is great, which I really love. So, you know, we've got bright things ahead. I also just released my 6-in-1 Japanese food pattern. It's taken a lot longer because of all the chaos that I've been going through with all my commitments and all the stuff I've been doing. So that's finally released today. So very exciting. And my patterns are 50% off. Hopefully they're still 50% off by the time I release this video. They should be if I'm doing it according to plan. So there's that. And I also have an order to pack. So I'm going to go ahead and do that later in the video, but it's a present. I've been getting some emails of like custom requests and stuff. I'm not taking custom requests. So unfortunately, you know, if there's some like really extra special circumstance, maybe like I do customs for like friends and stuff like that. But unfortunately, customs are not something I can guarantee in this moment because I don't have that much free time. And admittedly, my crojo is not at its strongest right now, so I only want to crochet things that I want to make, which is very selfish, but that's just the era that I'm in right now. And yeah, I don't have the time, so even if I wanted to, I really couldn't. But they did request something that I did already have pre-made. So I've sold it to them, they've paid for it. I'm going to go ahead and ship that off and make sure it gets there for their partner's birthday. It's one of my little bunnies, so I will show you guys and I will pack that order on the vlog. And lastly, enough yapping. My last thing is that I've started making the pot for my seafood boil. The series has taken a little while. This is what I have so far for the pot. It's huge and it's going to be massive. I think I did a bit too much. I've made it a bit too big. Like the base is definitely a bit too wide, but I think I'd rather it be like bigger and I can just like crochet more stuff to fill it in than make it too small. Cause like this is quite an extravagant series. So I'm like, I'd rather it be cooler than lamer. So this is going to take a lot of yarn and a lot of time, but what we have so far, and it's going to be like a full pot. So it's going to be like, the pot's got to be high. I can't make like this low, tiny little pot, or maybe I can. I don't know, you guys. We'll see. But I do have this foam board that I'm going to be reinforcing it with. I've done this for all of my seafood stuff, actually, like my seafood big projects, like my my oyster purse that's got the cardboard foam in it, and then my sardine pattern that is unreleased still. But that's what I've been using that foam board for, and I've actually gotten quite a lot of use out of it, and all seafood related, which is crazy. But I think also someone suggested on my TikTok to do another series. I really want to do another series. I really am enjoying making these series. And they said a charcuterie board, which I think is a wonderful idea. So maybe I'll do a charcuterie board challenge series. So if you guys have any ideas for that, let me know, because I don't really, I'm a bit like, I'm very Asian, so I don't know that much about what goes on a charcuterie board. Of course, I've seen them, and they like cheese, grapes, crackers, like meats. You know what? I can figure it out, but I will take suggestions too. But I can also use that for this board for that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut that out, build it, fit it in here. This is the outside of the pot. I'm going to have to crochet the inside of the pot again, which is going to be like a whole, doing this like all over again. And then maybe we'll do a lid and like handles and stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue crocheting the pot now. We're going to pack the order tomorrow when it's light out because it's pouring. It's a Friday. I can't ship it out today anyway. So it'll be shipped out on Monday, and we'll do it when we've got a bit more sun. It's a very gloomy day for me. And it looks like it's going to rain. So yeah, that was a lot of chatting. If you guys watch my vlogs, you are used to me chatting anyways. I love to chat, but now I'm going to crochet some more of this pot. Time to cut the foam board for the pot. So I have a little update on the pot. This is how it is looking. It is very large. I think that this is also like the depth, the height that I want it to be now. So I don't want it to be like too crazy. It's already pretty big. It's a decent pot. So I'm going to take this bowl, which is what I referenced the size of the pot off, and I'm going to just sort of cut it out on the foam board, and then hopefully it can fit in, and then I'll make the rim as well of the pot with the foam board too. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. It took a moment, but I finally cut the foam board. I've got the base and then I was going to call it the stem, like the rim, and I'm going to hot glue it together. My glue gun is on, and we're going to just like glue it on top. Hopefully it does fit right. It might be a little bit of a stretch. I may have to actually cut the circle a little bit smaller, but we will just see how it goes. Hopefully it can all fit. I tried to practice by putting the base first just inside the pot, and we'll see, because I need the stitch where it goes from the base to the rim to be like right where the foam sits, but obviously it's like a little bit concaved, so I need to stretch it out. So hopefully adding the rim will just stretch it out, because it isn't exactly aligned. It's a little bit like too big, but I think once it's stretched properly it should fit right. So hopefully once I add the rim it'll do that, because I don't want it to be like puffing out at the bottom. So I think this is the right size. I'm just going to go ahead and glue the rim on and hope for the best. This is going to be quite difficult actually, because this thing is just so huge, and like I have to glue it bit by bit, and hopefully it doesn't like break apart. This may be a bit of a challenge, and I may have to cut the rim a bit shorter once I glue everything, but that should be okay. Okay, we're almost at the end, and there is a little bit of overlap, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut. Gosh, my dog's hair is all over this thing. Just like collects, sticks to everything. But I'm gonna cut and make sure that it is even. Yeah, but it wasn't too bad to glue actually, but it's just like a little bit tedious, and I try and like use my fingers to smush it down, so hopefully it's like structurally sound and won't like collapse once I try and like stretch it to fit the bowl. So fingers crossed. Okay, it's now glued up. We've got a lot of hot glue strings flying around. I think it's like quite staticky actually, but I'm gonna now try and fit it in and see how it fits, and then how much I need to cut off the rim, because I feel like I definitely do need to cut some. I don't want to have it like this big, so we will go ahead and do that now. Okay, honestly, that's quite perfect. With a little bit of maneuvering, you have to be quite careful when putting it on, because I don't want to like break the glue for the foam, but it's looking good. It's giving pot. So I definitely want to like cut it just so that it is the right height of how much I've crocheted so far, because I think this is the right depth. I think I'll add actually the seafood boil that I have so far and see how it fits. Okay, yeah, we've got heaps of room. And also keeping in mind that I'm making the inside as well, so it will be a little bit tighter than this, but I think the height is actually perfect for where the crochet part ends. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down a little bit more. And then we are getting somewhere, guys. I'm really excited. This is the new height with the seafood boil inside, and I think it is perfect now. So it is like some parts are a little bit peeking over a little, but like, you know, it'll even itself out. It's not a huge problem. So I'm really happy with how this looks so far. Now I'm going to crochet the inside of the pot, and then I've got to make the lid and the handles. It is now time to pack my order. So we have this little strawberry bunny that is going to be gifted to a partner. So I'm very excited for that. Make sure that the bunny is perfect and there are no like little bits of fluff. Yep, everything is perfect. So I'm going to pack it a little bit differently on camera from what I'm used to. I usually just film like the setup, but because my room is so messy and it's so chaotic, we're just gonna do it here on the table and I'll just like show you as we go along. So I use these boxes to pack my plushies. I have like different sizes, but because this one is one of the like medium sized plushies, I'm using one of my bigger boxes and I'll just fold it up. I haven't packed an order in so long, you guys. I really missed doing this. Like, I pack all my Scarly orders, but they're very different from my handmade items. So this is what the box looks like, and I'll just put that here. You guys can kind of see. And then I take pink tissue paper that I cut out into the right size, and I just lay that inside the box. Like so, and then taking the plushie, I just put the little bunny in so that she's nice and snug like this, and then I add my extra in as well with the plushie. So I'll show you guys, I have these little extra packs that I have from my orders where they have a little phone charm that I make myself with the charm and the strap, and then a couple of stickers as well, and just in this little bag that I made just to make it a little bit more personal. I love giving out extras for my plushie orders. I wanted to do extras for Scarly as well, but because everything is so expensive, I don't make that much profit from Scarly. It just wasn't optimal. I wanted to make sure that I was giving you guys better value for the product instead of like making things a bit more expensive to cover all these extras that people didn't really ask for in the first place. So we just stick with giving them out to my plushie orders now. So I fold everything up, and then once it's folded, I'm not a folding expert, but this is what it looks like inside. I take this sticker. I usually have a different sticker, but I've run out. So this one just says handmade with love, and I use that to like seal the plushie inside. So that's what it looks like. And then we have my thank you card and my business card, and I have a little discount code on my thank you card for next time. Whenever I decide to list plushies on my website, I keep saying I'm going to do it. I do need to do it, but I have just been approved for a market in November, so I'm going to save all my stock for that market because it's a Christmas market, so it's going to be really big, and now that I'm working full-time, I'm not going to have as much time to make stock, so we're definitely going to do that after the market. I'll list the extra stock, especially for Christmas time, where people are looking for gifts. So these two go in here, and then I just fold everything up like so, and then I like to add my Stitch by Scott sticker just here, my custom little logo. This used to be my profile picture on everything, so it's my business logo, but obviously you guys don't really see that anymore. It's still on my Etsy, but the little teddy, and then I use my water activated tape and I put it on top to seal the box. So here is the tape. Okay, just the right size. I'm out of practice now. I have to like guesstimate everything again, but here it looks like. That's how I just seal it up. It just works the best. And then of course I'm not going to ship it out like this, so I add a mailer on top. Hopefully this, oh, no, it's not going to fit. I'll have to go and grab one of my bigger mailers. bigger mailer secured, and then I just put the box inside. This mailer just protects it from the rain and from opening because of the water activated tape. I try and keep it eco-friendly. These are like biodegradable. I think they're made out of like a seaweed type of thing. So these ones are environmentally friendly, my mailers, so it's not wasteful. And then I print out the packing, the label, and then stick it on top, and then it's ready to go. We've got the label here, and now it's really wonky, but the label is now on, and then it's ready for drop off. So that is how I pack all of my plushie orders. If you guys have your own small business, hopefully there's some inspiration there. If you want to have some cute packaging, I keep everything pretty affordable as well. There is a video on my TikTok from like years ago where I share literally every single detail of where I get every single thing for my small business, except for the extra packs, but you guys can come up with your own extras if you want to do that. There are so many ways to put your own little essence into things and make something that maybe your customers would like, tailoring it to your target market, of course. But hopefully they like their gift. I'm really excited and grateful for the order. I don't really do custom orders at the moment just because I'm very, very busy, but because this is an item I already had, of course we had to go through with it. But now I'm going to continue on with the seafood boil, see how much more I can get done of the pot. This is what we've got so far of the inside, so we are almost finished there, and I just need to like connect the two pieces together, make the handles, and then the lid. Okay, so the seafood boil is now almost finished. So the pot has been connected, the inside and the outside, and as you can see, I've placed everything inside. We can honestly fit like a couple more items in here as well, but what I'm gonna have to do next is make the handles and the lid. I'll actually show you guys, I'll dump everything out. Okay, boil has been dumped, and this is what it looks like. It's not like super structurally sound in the sense that it's just a foam board, so the shape can be maneuvered a little bit, but generally speaking, it is a circular shape and it's holding itself up. So that's all that matters. I am really happy with it. And we are going to go ahead and continue with the handles and the lid and finishing it up in the next vlog because I have to get this video out now. We are running out of time and we got to start the next video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. And if you have any questions or comments, anything you want to say, leave them in the comments below. I love hearing what you guys have to say. And if you want to see more crochet related content, you can subscribe and join my little family. Love you guys. Bye.